Cool. I am.
Wait, and we're live. How we doing, everyone?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Very good.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good.
And we are rejoined by Sticks today, so very keen to hear what Sticks has
What a
been up to.
treat. What a
It's been a
treat.
while.
Yeah, I slept in on the last one. I think we all agreed to do it at like 9:30. I slept in and I woke up at like 11 and I'm like, guys, I just read the chat. It's like Sticks, Sticks, Sticks. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. And then I told them I actually had a dream about Che and he was eating like beef jerky. So it was just weird how that all happened in the same night. So I made a post about it. I dreamed about Che. That's why that's why I was in a deep slumber. So yeah.
It's good to have you back, man. We just need Z to come back and
the soul, the soul OG. We need him back.
The funk soul brother.
I like it. I like it.
Your thiness.
Your finest. Oh, very good. All right, I'll just kick the. Welcome to Le Poad, episode number 4.
We're counting the first episode?
That first one that I failed to record did not exist. So we're just going to pretend that never happened.
What episode? I don't remember doing it. That's okay.
Exactly.
Oh, GM, gentlemen, how are we all doing?
Well, I know how you're doing. You just only had a couple hours sleep, so
Yeah, I'm a husk of a man, but I am still here. We're doing well. We're recording this from the kids' guest bedroom of like a mate's holiday house, and it's so hot in here. There's no blinds, and there's like the sun.
It's not even hot in Melbourne like right now. I just went. I was gonna go for a run, but I just went because I have a basketball court across the road from my house, and I went there, and it was like windy. Wasn't even hot at all.
Yep.
Melbourne's really weird right now.
Melbourne summer has been tragic. It's like, I'm not kidding. It's like 9:30 and it's
Horrible.
30 degrees already. I'm like, oh, please no. I'm not
Dude,
used to this.
it was 38 degrees here in Brisbane yesterday, and it was absolutely cooked. I was
off,
dying.
Come on, mate. That's terrible.
Melbourne has been 19 and rainy for like a week. It's like, yeah, summer. Nice, guys.
No wonder Sticks slept in. He was like, he looks outside, sees it's raining. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
Wake me up when it's warmer.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, nice. All right. How is everyone this morning? How are y'all doing?
Yeah, the market seems to be the Jeets have come out in full force this morning.
Dude.
I'm having a look right now, but
Yeah.
not
as like, Sticks, we're welcoming Sticks back. What's been going on, man? I would love to hear a Sticks update.
there's not too much going on, dude. I was looking at I've been looking at a few coins, and I know Swiss has been like aggressively playing Ordi, and I just keep looking at it, and every time I look at it, it just keeps going up. So I don't know who the fuck is buying it, because I made a tweet last night because I was like, who the fuck's buying it? No one on my timeline is tweeting about it. Everyone's only tweeting about like say and all that shit. No one's tweeting about fucking Ordi. So and then what the fuck's TRB? Like, I don't even know what these coins are, bro.
Dude.
What the fuck is it? Why is it doing like half a billion on Bybit today? Like, what the fuck is it?
Dude,
Someone tell me what
funding rate
TRB is.
is cooked.
Dude.
I just pulled up the chart of like the TRB and like funding.
I'm such a boomer. I don't know what these coins are.
It is insane. Like, it is the stupidest thing I've seen. And then like Ordi has just been like doing the most volume outside of BTC, ETH, and Sol on futures.
Well, Ordi was like $3 in like October, I think.
Swiss, can you walk me through what is happening with Ordi? Like, I just
who the fuck is buying it? I just want to know.
BRC20, but it's not even like, I originally thought it was like a weird collection of like BRC20 tokens that was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is like almost like an ETF, like a basket of BRC20s, but it's literally just one, and it's called Ordi, and everyone's just fucking max bidding it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So I'll give you the TLDR. So basically, all of these BRC20s come from free mints, essentially, with cap limits on transaction spend. So if you go to mint these, you might only be able to mint 1,000 at a time, and then pay whatever Bitcoin transaction fee is at that time. And like to some degree, it could be like profitable to mint loads, but as the interest in ordinals and inscriptions go up, it becomes quite costly with the fees involved. The well, look, it's just a BRC20 token, but there could be an argument made that people believe that it's the underlying protocol that gives ordinals their value, which is actually incorrect. It's not even. It's just a BRC20. It's and I've sort of spoke with you guys about this a while ago, where one of the exchanges here in Australia incorrectly listed the description of what this token is. So like, yeah, on one hand, you could argue that people are buying this because they believe it is a good way to get exposure to a new form of ideas and participation on the native Bitcoin chain.
That's what I reckon.
Which is fine. And then like you just checked the funding there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yep, and it's like green, right? So it's like positive the whole time. So people are trying to get exposure to this. I find it quite funny that it keeps going up, like irrespective of literally everything that's going on, which makes me think it's probably more closely aligned to an actual meme token than anything else, because even people are tweeting about it and using the word inscription or ordinals as in the protocol in line with Ordi, and that's like incorrect as well. So there could be this belief that it is something more than it actually is, and that's why the price is going up. But I also like the idea that it is fresh capital. There are no VCs, and people are just essentially buying this as
just the
Chinese
Chinese
price
grandmas,
discovery. Yeah, but my also like other idea about this is like once people realize that this is just a BRC20 token, they're going to start to potentially think it's overvalued and then short it. And then so we've got the positive funding at the moment, but I'd love to see it when people start shifting their perspective on this and then start shorting it because they think it's worth nothing. And then that's when I think it could even go even higher. So I would, yeah, like I don't know, like I think it's like close to. I haven't really checked. I think
I actually think
like,
people are shorting it quite heavily. Like if you look at funding, it's pretty low, and there's been moments over the last few days where funding's gone negative.
okay.
So I actually think that it's not like overly leveraged to the long side. I think there's probably a bit of a shorting going on there, which is causing these sort of like constant moves to the upside, because I think exactly like you said, people are like, what the fuck is this? Why is it doing so much volume? Surely it's topped out here. And it keeps going. Just in the chat, P2 Pasta said it's basically a meme token, right? Mindshare BTC beta / inscription beta. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and also the other thing to note is if you want to include it in the category of a meme token, its performance has been a lot better than pretty much most of them out there in terms of being able to stay at a consistently high market cap and continue to grind higher. Like this thing was catching bids on Christmas Day. Like who is buying this?
The Chinese grandmas, bro. The Chinese grandmas.
Santa is bidding Ordi. It confirmed.
Yeah, so I wouldn't bet against this, especially with the way that people may attribute this to the inscription and ordinals that are occurring on Bitcoin. And look, that adoption and interest has just been slowly grinding upwards quite sustainably since the inception of it. So yeah, it's probably not one I would bet against. It may be in the short term, but yeah, it's just keeps going up. So yeah, not much more to say really.
Cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That was a good way of putting it, Swiss. I liked the meme coin narrative to it. I feel like a lot of people are just like putting it all into one category with like inscriptions, ordinals, and they're just like, let's bid Ordi. So
Yeah, and even people that
it's like a meme.
Yeah, and people that I would think that were clued into this, even got it wrong. So people generally think that this is something more than it actually is. It's literally like the guy, Casey Rodarmer, he came out and made a post like just correcting Binance when they listed the token, and we're just like, hey guys, like your description that you've put here is actually incorrect. Like this has got nothing to do with our protocol or ordinal theory and the institute and whatnot around it. Just like please correct that. And I think if you go on CoinSpot now, sorry for shilling the exchange, but if you go on CoinSpot now and have a look at the Ordi token, they may have changed it already, but I still think it has like the old description that Binance had, which was that it is a part of the ordinal
Hilarious
theory.
Yeah, see, like there's just all these made up funny narratives, and they just catch on like wildfire.
Yeah, what a great narrative that the exchanges endorse it, right?
But do you think it's just like as simple as like people see that this like ordinals thing is happening, they want to get exposure to it? Like there's no mechanism.
Yeah, I feel like it's just it's easier than like actually getting exposure to ordinals, and like it's way more. It's just like easier, more liquid. You can just do it quicker. So, and like obviously with the Bitcoin ETF, it just like fuels it even more. So.
Yeah,
that's like basically been like the 2 months. It just fueled the ETF, Bitcoin moving higher, and then it's just like, oh my god, ordinals on Bitcoin. Like,
I agree with that. Like, I think if there was something that you wanted exposure to in a way that you could kind of allow it to tick a lot more boxes than you might think it would, I think Ordi's like a good bet for that. I definitely wish I was able to buy it when I wanted to and not fuck around with so many longs. But the
come on, Swiss. What was your entry?
Oh no, I don't want to.
You gotta say it.
I don't know I don't want to check now, but I reckon if I did, man, like I literally longed it 3 times and like was watching it on the 30-minute chart when I should have just gone on holiday and left it. But yeah, $4 or $5. I was trying to aggressively leverage long it. May have been the bonk guy 2.0, who knows? But we live and learn. But yeah, so like I think it's just a nice way to get exposure to the general overview of the idea. Like if you wanted to bet on something this cycle, new, innovative, and ways for people to participate, I think Ordi would be a good way to do that. I also think that just the performance alone against all the other meme coins, and like further to this, I think we're done with the whole idea of like the accumulation range expansion trades out of like the consolidation of 2023. And so now is the time you have to really be paying attention to what are the things that retail would be likely to participate in or get exposure to. And I think the meme coin to chain valuation is like a lazy low IQ, might work, but way of investing. So if you're like, I'll hold whiff or bonk because they're at this current market cap, and if Sol goes to this current market cap, then they would be worth higher. I think that's fine, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I just think that it's now like less productive to do that when there is a possibility that new retail don't think the same. And I think that's like the issue with like the meme coins at the moment. Is that none of them have really been able to break their all-time highs, and so you've got actually a lot of current market participants in really good buy entries. So like people are up in profit, which is fantastic. I'm not saying that they're going to sell. It's just that they're now thinking, well, now I'm in this position, I can see this happening in the future. And I think that gets a little bit lazy in that sort of thought. And I think what I like about Ordi is that it's still grinding higher. And if there was a meme coin, I guess that would capture the attention of newer participants, even though it may not be like the best one or the best performer, it's definitely sitting in a category of which I would say, okay, like I think this will capture newer people when they arrive, rather than the third spun up derivative cat with a hat token on Sol. Even though you have like a really good entry, like I feel like that's awesome, and I think there is higher potential. I think it's now you really have to start paying attention to what are the winners going to be, out of all of these people in really good positions, because as soon as one of these meme coins like continues to grind higher or break their previous all-time high, that's when I believe the people that are in really good positions on meme coins, irrespective of chain, will go, well, I'm not going to hold the loser anymore. I'm just going to go bid the winner, because that winner is likely to capture the attention of retail. Like, retail aren't going to really size up the meme coin category and then go down to page 2 to buy
There's just too many meme coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you may have like a really good entry, which is fine, like to be profitable. That might be your like best trade. But I think like this bull market is going to be like so long, I believe, and that you just don't really want to get lazy with it, just with your winners, and just think like, because Sol's going to $500,000 a coin, that means Bonk's going to Columbia level currency. Does that make sense, guys? I feel like I rambled on a little bit.
No, I think
that's
that makes
good.
sense, but I think you could probably use that same sort of thinking and actually attribute why Ordi is valued to what it is, because like the relative valuation thing is basically the only way these things get priced, right? So you have
correct.
your ETH and then your meme coins on ETH, and then you got your Sol and then your meme coins on Sol. So then like if you've got BTC and then this is the meme coin of BTC, i.e. Ordi, then like the FDV of, or like the market cap of BTC is pretty fucking high. So therefore the quote unquote meme coin for that chain should then be relative to that market cap. So therefore that's why Ordi can sort of attribute to that level of valuation.
So the only thing I would argue with that level of thinking is that it requires you to position for longer term timeframes, when we know that meme coins don't have that potential. Even DeFi tokens don't have that potential against the underlying base chain asset. And I think it's a fine risk to take, because at the end of the day, the frequency of a bull market is so low, and so your opportunity to take risk diminishes over time. And so taking that risk is absolutely fine. It's just it's going to be real hard when you're in the, like, let's take that Bonk guy for example. Like, he's got a brilliant entry, he's got a really good mindset to take profits, which I wouldn't argue with. I think that's really good of him. But what if Bonk isn't the clear winning retail picked meme coin? Then it's going to get real hard to sort of, like, it may double from where it is now, or like go up like maybe another 5x multiple. But what if that is then the opportunity cost of what a clear market defined meme coin pick for what retail choose in the future? Like, I generally think that, and I've been thinking on this recently, and I started like messaging you guys at like 2 a.m. about it, but I'm starting to think that Dogecoin will probably have a level of degeneracy on it, which will be encapsulating of retail, because it has a lot of bag holders. And like, I like the idea of adopting new sort of market thoughts or investment theses that are different to the meme coin to chain valuation based thinking. So like the Bitcoin spot ETF probably comes out, and you could argue like, it could draw down, it could be a sell the news event. I think those arguments now getting more apparent and obvious that either way could happen. But the main thing is that it brings attention to the asset. And then it's like the conversation goes from, like, what even is the utility of Bitcoin? And then it goes to, you can do what with Bitcoin? And that becomes the ordinals and the inscriptions. And then you can go to that next step further, where it's like, hang on, you can actually do this on other chains. And I think the other chain to capture that will probably not be AVAX, but I think it will be like Doge. And I think it's going to be funny that Doge does it and has more attraction, because it's like fun and dumb. And I think that what I have noticed from the last cycle is a lot of people that were early, I don't want to generalize, but people that I've noticed that have like massive followings in NFTs on Ethereum don't even have any ordinals yet. So they've sort of like formed this confirmation bias that because they were right last cycle, that they think retail will come back and buy like sappy seals and shit like that. I don't generally prescribe to that idea. I think it's going to be some level of innovative, fun sort of aspect to it. And my favorite one that I've been thinking of recently is that Dogecoin has a lot of bag holders because of its like really high market cap. And then like for example, Elon Musk at one point was like, oh, you know, like I'd be keen to have some level of, or maybe it was Mark Cuban, but they're like, oh, I'm keen to have some level of possibility that you can buy and use Dogecoin as a currency, which I think is fantastic. Like I think it's really fun. But like imagine that, but like with ordinals. So like with all the ordinal stuff on Doge at the moment, like you could definitely argue that that is an undervalued area. And what I like about it looking into the future is that if like the Doge ordinals pump really hard, it's going to piss off a lot of like ordinal people on Bitcoin because they're going to be like, oh, why would you even do this on Doge? Like you could do this on the definitive asset. And then you like create that environment of like, do you want to be right or want to make money? Like I definitely think ordinals on Bitcoin are like the coolest thing ever. And I think that it's going to get a lot of attention. I just think the next like retail innovative thing to do is that they can just be so dumb and stupid with Doge on chain. Like I think that is quite a new idea to bet for, rather than PopCat with the hat on Sol for the fourth derivative of the meme coin. Even though you could probably still get like a really good return playing that game, I just think I tried to position for a little bit longer than 3 hours. And I think that could be an idea, but I do apologize to our audience. I feel like I've rambled on about this, and someone else please speak.
No, it's really good having the quant of
that was a good
Brotato Capital speak. It's great.
Yeah. I agree with Swiss in a few points. Like I think you can't position yourself for a meme coin longer than like, it depends which meme coin, obviously, but because like some of them have lasted a few months, but you're just like shit coining. You got to literally look at it every like hour. Like you can't really position yourself. You can't say this is the definitive one because there's just so many. And like the likelihood of meme coins going to like 1 billion, like your meme coin going to 1 billion is like quite unlikely because, well, only Pepe and Bonk. Is there any more this year that have gone to 1 billion?
No, just those.
I think that's it.
No,
yeah. So like.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, well, Ordi
yeah,
technically.
So
but yeah.
Ordi, yeah, okay, you could categorize Ordi, but like as in like animal based or like goofy memes, like that's basically it. And I think a lot, like last cycle, it was like I made a post about this. It was easy to pump like meme coins to like tens of billions of dollars because there was only really two. And then you could say like Floki was one, but that only went to like 2 billion. But like there was just Doge and Shiba, and it's like if imagine we only had like Pepe and Bonk, and there was not a single other meme coin. It's like where's all the money going to go? It's just going to go into them probably. So it's like it's very difficult to come up with like a thesis that a meme coin, like a specific meme coin, is going to go to like 30-40 billion dollars. Like obviously you could say Bonk is like if you're going off like Doge was like the Bitcoin derivative from meme, and then Shiba was like the Ethereum one, and then Bonk is like the Sol one. Like that's a good thesis. Like you can argue that might play out next year. But like it's hard to see which memes will go to like even 5 billion at the moment, and like obviously that's in like a few months. I could sound like an idiot, but there's just so many, and it's like I don't know which one to pick. You know, it's like last cycle you just had to pick one or two. Like it's like, and both of them went up a lot. But like this cycle, you've got fucking Podacoin, you've got fucking SPX, you got all these like ETH ones, and you got all these Sol ones, and then you've got like the Sex, like the Pepes, the Bonks, like freaking the Flokis, the Doges. It's just like fuck, which one do I pick?
Dude, the attention share is just so fucking.
Yeah, it's that's the problem. It's like you've got all these cults, and they all have like thousands of people in them each. Like you got your like SPX freaking sisters or whatever they're called, and then you've got your gremlins, and then you've got your like dog with hat. Freaking, he still has a hat. Cultist.
Yes, he does. Yes,
so
he does.
It's like yeah. I mean, he still does.
He still has a hat.
Still
but it's like it's like fuck, man. Which one are you gonna pick?
Yeah, exactly.
It's difficult, dude, and it's like
the risk to reward on that, like the premium there is just
hard,
so
man.
low. It's
yeah,
like,
because especially if they're like like obviously dog tokens. I can see them pumping because like they always pump, but it's like some of them are already really high, and I just don't know. Like it has to be the dog token if it wants to go to 1 billion. Like Bonk has been the dog token so far.
Yeah,
but like
100%.
yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to. And every time it seems to get freaking a Binance listing, they just seem to be
Nuke.
down only. Like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's very difficult with all this attention spread out so finely. I don't know how to.
I think the
There's
problem
so much-
is like everyone gets that one entry, and then you get the big success story. So like you get the block graze bloody.
That's exactly. It's just it's a
trade.
gamble. So it's like everyone wants that. You know, like they use Bonkbot, they snipe this token at like 100k market cap, and it goes to like 100 million. Like that's like the crazy story that everyone wants, and like obviously heaps of people have done that in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
99.999%.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and he had his 0.2 Sol run up to about 80 something Sol, and then so he was like feeling pretty good about himself. And then this new token launched, and it was like towards the end of that Sol meme cycle we just had, and he just put everything into the one fucking new coin, and then lost it all.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, it's like if you're like it's like you're rotating the capital. It's gonna like eventually it's like if you're gambling on sports like every single game. So there's like 10 games of basketball. The likelihood that you're gonna lose is like so much higher. It's the same with like the meme coins. If you keep like gambling on them, like 99% of them fail. So you're going to stuff up on a few of them. It's like if you say you make like 80 Sol, you're probably not gonna like walk away with 80 Sol.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to gamble on the next one. But it's gambling, I guess. But yeah.
One thing I would note is, and it shouldn't be taken lightly, is the and if you just want to use this like one data point, there's many others that you could like pick at. But the fact that a lot of the Sol ecosystem meme coins flipped a lot of the old guard meme coins on ETH is a really good, healthy indication that people are willing to participate even if retail isn't here yet. So I really think that even though there's a lot of sort of activity on Sol, I wouldn't write off the viability that Sol is a good beta in the long term because of the ease of use for participation. Like another thing that I definitely think has working for Sol is its ability to be in front of retail and create a really good user experience. And so maybe again, from just looking at last cycles, maybe just Sol is like a really good beta to hold longer term, more so than the meme coins. But at the end of the day, I think the opportunities for multiples on Sol as like meme coins or even like new protocols or apps or dApps that launch on Sol, I think are still there and will be there in the coming like year, I guess, because of that feasibility, and demand for that sort of user experience. I don't know what like these new chains will bring. Like I know, Lionel, you've been very vocal and early to like say, maybe I don't know what too much.
I just fucked around on Stay yesterday and the day before.
Yeah,
it's good. I like it.
Yeah, and so maybe these things are the new like ease of retail participation. I'm not really sure. But what do you guys think about, say, Monad and all?
L, you can
sure.
talk about it since you're the expert.
So I when we had that bit of a nuke the other day, I did the typical thing and looked at whatever coin was still green. And I noticed SEI was looking pretty good, whilst everything else was coming down. That was after Sol hit that sort of 120 mark and went down to about 110. So I've been wanting to take a position in SEI for a while, just because like it's Monad but with a token already. I don't necessarily think it's better than Monad, because I think Monad's taken a slightly different approach. But like SEI is basically EVM chain but parallelized, which to me makes a lot of sense. It's similar to Sol, but it's EVM, so it means that you can attract a lot more new dApps, well, not new dApps, but existing forks of, you know, the Uniswaps, your Aves, all of that. All of that can come across pretty quickly, so you're likely to get a lot of activity quicker because people that know how to code in EVM systems can straight away come in and sort of code on SEI. So it'd just be like a very high performing fast ETH basically. And Monad obviously has caught a lot of attention for a lot of people, and everyone's very excited about being able to buy the Monad token. But there's just no way to allocate now if you're like a retail person, whereas like SEI gives you that ability to do so now. And what I also like about it is that a lot of people have moved their capital over to Cosmos chains recently with the whole tier airdrop speculation. So people are getting used to using Cosmos and using Kepler wallets and things like that. And you've got the whole IBC transfers between each chain. So you've got like some fresh capital that's sitting there now. So it's a lot easier for people to want to use SEI. What's interesting with SEI though is like it's what a billy market cap ish now, maybe a bit more, circulating, not FDV, but its meme coin is like already at like 30-40 mil market cap. So like the relative valuation thing is pretty big, like from a main chain to meme coin. But I think that will change in time, just like you saw with Sol, where like, you know, back in early November, there was like everyone was like buying into Sol, but no one knew where to allocate their Sol, and all of the tokens that were on Sol at the time were like down only, like Bonk included. So people were like, "Nah, I'm just going to hold my Sol," and then eventually, you know, you started getting the Bonk move, and then you know, turned into like a bit of a meme coin run. So I think there's like opportunity now on SEI where like nothing's really happening there yet. So there's none of this like attention dispersion. So you can probably allocate to a meme.
I think it's still healthy as well on SEI that people are moving capital onto it to gamble on meme coins, like Saiyan and Sailor. What other meme coins are on there? I don't even know. I just know that Saiyan's on there.
Those two, like every single coin is just like a derivative of some sort of Dragon Ball.
You only need one, gentlemen. You only need one.
You only need one. And like that's the thing. It's like
Stamen, and it was literally just all of the fucking tweets on the timeline were retain.
Yeah. So like I think that's like really good. Because like there's obviously chains and other tokens that people speculate on, but like they literally no one uses them. But at least like you can run up a meme coin. Like the meme coin, I think it got to like 30-40 mil last night or something. That same token.
Someone like
I might have some of it. Yeah, it's at I think it's at like 20 something at the moment, but like it got pretty high. But like a brand new chain that like no one really has used until like last week. So so like that's healthy, I think, for the token. I
also like that it's so memeable, like with all of the Dragon Ball Z stuff. So it just makes it like kind of fun.
And it's actually original as well. It's not just another dog or a cat. You're like, okay, cool. It's got its own flavor. It's interesting. It has its own appeal. Yeah, it's unique. At least.
The founders. I watched an interview with the founder on Steady Lads, and it was quite interesting. Like they've designed the chain to say, you know, the use case of crypto is to perform swaps. That's it. So let's make that as optimal as possible. So then, you know, like they're ex Robinhood or something like that. And
I saw that.
They got pissed off with the whole Robinhood situation. So they were just like, hey, why don't we make something that anyone could perform swaps on, but make it as fast and efficient as possible? And then that's what we're going to optimize for. So
I think it's put cool. Like a Super Saiyan 1 Goku as his profile picture as well. That was pretty funny.
So good.
I love it. I love when like actual like people on the team actually embrace like what people are doing on the chain. Like even if it's like the most memeable thing ever, it's like it's good. Like that makes me just want to fucking gamble on the chain even more.
Isn't that what AVAX Labs are doing?
I saw that.
I saw that. I kind of don't like what AVAX Labs are doing.
Yeah, allegedly.
I don't actually know.
They're actually saying it came out yesterday and said that's what they're doing. Like they're
just going to buy memes. I wrote the article on it for Cointelegraph. Like I was like just like wrote it up, and yeah, they've not like transformed, but they're using their $100 million, which they, like I said, they launched $100 million NFT kind of like incubator fund in March last year, and now they're just like, fuck it, we'll buy meme coins with it.
Yeah, like
Which is just wild. You're like, holy shit, like
SEC, knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
literally. Yeah,
I made
ruined the
one
party
little.
before
I
it
don't
even started.
know like if anything good can come out of them buying the meme space.
Yeah,
No,
I just think it's
what
kind
are our
of
thoughts
stupid.
on this? What?
I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, AVAX has just been like whatever's most popular at the time.
Yes,
they're going to do.
100%. It's like with Friendtech, they were like, what was their one called?
Stars Arena.
Stars Arena.
Oh, that
The
founder
rug.
or the co-founder or whatever, he was like shilling the fuck out of it. Like
Yeah.
the AVAX Labs like co-founder, like he probably just heard about it the day before. It's like, oh, holy shit, people are actually using our chain. Okay, I got to shill this.
Yeah, no,
Legit.
I reckon not even that.
Post
I
on the
reckon
timeline.
they actually
Even if
paid
it's a
someone
rug.
to make it. I reckon they were like, we need a friend tech. We need you
Yeah.
to make something, and then we'll shill the fuck out of it. Like that's
Yeah.
what they do. That's their MO.
No, don't worry about security. Just use that chain.
Yeah,
The optics of it were really bad too, because they got fully exploited. And
That was so
clowned on.
funny. I remember
then
I
the
jumped on
founder
it,
came
and I'm
out.
like,
Oh, just being
I
like,
remember
don't worry, guys, it's only 3 million. Like whatever. And it's like,
all right, bro. Some
say
people
that
put
shit.
like 50K into it.
Yep.
I remember like that day I was like, people are using it, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna jump on, see how many bots buy up my like freaking shares or whatever they're called, and I'm just gonna like withdraw it because like at the time AVAX was like I probably should have just held the AVAX, but AVAX was trading at like $12 or something, and I'm like, fuck this shit coin. I'm just gonna quickly grab it, withdraw it to Kraken, and then that's like a day's wage for a normie. And I did that, and then like 3 hours later, the whole thing blew up. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
Pretty funny.
The red triangles are out in force on the timeline. I made like one joke. I was like, breaking, AVAX does anything to remain relevant. And the red triangles were like, you're a journalist. How dare you? So much for unbiased. And I'm like, guys, it's a fucking joke.
You know what I don't understand? It's like all these people came out of the woodwork when they started getting memes on AVAX, and then they went on these like tangents about tweeting like, you know what, guys, I actually like the meme. It's quite funny. It's like I'm already tired of this rotational like meme thing. Like I don't know if I have the energy to come to AVAX, bro. Like, can we just like do something else?
I can't like. I don't know how those like on-chain like dudes who like they must just like sit at their PC for like genuinely like 18 hours a day. How do they do these rotations so quickly? Like I swear I like go out for like a walk, and next minute I come back, my coin's cheated. And they've moved all the capital to like the next coin. It's like how do they do this so quickly?
yeah.
Inconsiderate of letting you know first is all.
Yeah, I know. The Sol G to something else as well. Like obviously Sol's the best chain. Sol's the best chain for like retail because you can literally just jump in with like $5 and the fees are like not even a cent. But it's just because of the fees, it's like the jittery is insane and the charts look so fucking funny. Like they'll literally nuke it to zero and then run it up to all-time highs like 3 days later.
Yeah, like a good example of this was when I was on holiday back in the homestead, and you guys in the chat were like, every hour there was a new token, and then you'd be like, oh my god, it's cheated, I need to get in this one, and then you'd be like, oh, it's 3x right now, and then the funniest one that I loved was like, oh my god, this coin that just went down 90% is now like 4x in the last hour. And I'm just like getting these notifications while I'm on like this cruise or whatever. And I'm just like looking at this like, what is going on right now? You just like, who is doing this on Christmas Eve?
I remember I bought like, me, Tom, and Z, we bought this like chippy coin, and I bought it, and then as soon as I bought it, it went down like 50% within like 1 minute, and I bought it at like I don't know, like 500K or something, and it just like instantly cheated to like 250K market cap, and I'm like, well, this sucks. And then like literally I checked back 10 minutes later and it's at like 1.5 million. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then obviously it went to like 5 million and then back to zero, I guess. So
it's telling.
hilarious.
Like,
It's so fucking
like
funny.
that like just having the one good thing, like the kind of redemptive quality about ETH meme coins is there is that barrier. There's that friction to sell of like,
Like
Yeah.
some
do I
like
wanna
some
spend
retail
my-
participants will like not sell. Like obviously the big dudes will just sell because like gas means nothing to them. But like if you're like trading with like $500, you're like less inclined to sell if the coin's going up because you're like gotta pay gas, but like it might go higher, you know?
Yep.
So it's
That's
just
why
funny.
his
But
TVL is so high.
Yep.
that's probably why, because of the fucking gas, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But don't you think that like opens up the opportunity for more retail participants though? So like the
Oh,
pool
way
of
better.
people
It's
that you can grab to.
Sol is so much better. Like, for instance, if you're like switched on and you're not willing to like marry whatever the fuck coin you're like buying, you could just like literally chuck in like $20. And if you even if you get like a 3x, you just sell, move to the next one. Obviously, it's fucking easier said than done because you're most likely gonna get rugged on like the second coin you buy. But it's like easier for retail to just like fuck around and gamble. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like I'm like very biased ETH because I have like a lot of ETH. But in terms of like gambling, I just chucked like the first experience I had with Sol. I just chucked a few Sol in. I chucked like 5 Sol in just to like fuck around with it. I was like, I had no idea what was going on. Chucked it in Bonkbot. Like the no fees, you can just like move the Sol around so instantaneously, and you still have like the same amount of Sol even after like 10 moves. So it's pretty good.
Yep. In my case, you have much less soul, but I'm glad that you're
Oh no,
doing
don't
well.
worry. I've lost my fair share of Sol. In the last
Speaking
few
of
days,
Sol,
just fucking around.
some of us have unboxed a soul phone. Won't
Ooh.
I really because we got to wrap up in like 15 because we got places to be.
I've got in real life things to do, but
Yeah.
IRL shit. But won't I mean like I got my 2 cents on it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm
this
two phone like going about now. I've got like because I've got two.
You actually carry it around.
Yeah, I've got 2 phone numbers anyway on my main phone,
Oh,
so I
right.
just like split the phones across just to like give it a go. Look, it's
Nice.
it's cool. It's fucking heavy. It is like a kilo.
Is it?
This thing, it is massive, man. Like
Really?
this thing is a brick, but like build quality is pretty sick. The screen protector that came with it though is like retarded. It doesn't fit the whole screen. It's so bad. It's like
I put it on and I was like, I put it on wrong, and I was like, oh no, that's just just the screen.
Yeah, it's like Chinese knockoffs could probably make a better screen protector than this, but yeah. Anyway, the DApp store is kind of cool, but like there's like nothing in it except for like a couple of apps. The seed phrase integration with the wallet is probably my favorite thing. Like it's like carrying a hardware wallet around, so like it's pretty cool. I would like if at some point in time they eventually allowed Phantom App to use that same vault for your ETH wallets and that, so then you could do more chains than just Solana. But I understand as it's a Solana phone, they're trying to keep the garden walls on it. But yeah, quite buggy at times as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like it's cool. But like once you've got it, like you're like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah, I think
the thing
meta
that you
of
do
it is
now.
just future airdrops. Yeah.
Yeah. Future airdrops or sell it for $20,000 on eBay because that's what they're sort of going for. So like I've got this dilemma at the moment. So somehow I've ended up with a SAGA phone. When I thought
did
I
you
was
get one as well,
one.
Swiss? I didn't even know.
Yeah. Out of all the things, like I remember when I like went to buy it, my bank was like, we've detected some like suspicious activity. Like, can you just confirm that this is like you? And I'm like, out of everything that that was the one that they thought was suspicious activity. So maybe it's a sign to come about the SAGA phone. But I think just looking at what they're going for on eBay, not sure if they're actually selling or not though, but like I think maybe the opportunity is to just, while people have this thought that it'll have future airdrops, maybe just like on sell it for like a multiple of what you've purchased it for. After it, like, because like the Solana phone had a decrease in price, so it wouldn't be like the worst idea to then on sell it, and sell it to someone that has like this idea that there will be more future airdrops. I do think it's cool. It may not, like, I was thinking about this last night. Like maybe in like 10 years time, it could be like worth a lot more because it's like the first crypto phone, but I don't think it's going to be as like popular or sought after as an unboxed new generation iPhone that came out, like the first iPhone. Like those things have been selling for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I don't think that's really the play, but maybe future airdrops. Like I think I love the idea of future airdrops. It may not be the most profitable for obviously the Solana Foundation or whoever's created the phones, as we talked about this on like a previous pod. But yeah, if someone offered me like $20,000 for it, I probably would give it to them. For free. No, kidding.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is. I was really considering. I was looking at it while it was like still in its plastic, and I was like, oh, do I do this? And I'm looking at checkphone.xyz, and I'm just watching Bonk, literally refreshing it and watching the dollar value go down by $10. And I'm like, how much do I want to do this? And I was like, I'm in it for the tech. And but it's cool. It's like, okay, I really want to do it. Even if it's just to spite Marcus Brownlee and be like, nah, dude, I'm getting my airdrop.
Did you cheat?
Marcus
Immediately, immediately. I opened it up and I was like, all right, let's go. And then I was out. I just locked in the exact, like, a little bit more than the phone was worth in USD, just to be like, cool, that's in profit. And then, I literally, the good thing is like the Solana phone, you can get, they're still buggy, but like MarginFi, if you're still airdrop farming that, like you can just download, you can kind of bypass the dApp Store thing and just download the shortcut to the screen.
Yeah.
So you can use it with the actual kind of like seed vault thing from the Saga. And so like, it's there's fun stuff, and there's a couple of protocols like Solend is said that they're doing an airdrop. There's a couple. There's a tweet thread somewhere of all the prospective kind of.
There'd be a fair few airdrops coming.
Yeah.
And Genesis, the guys behind Shadow, say that they're going to launch an app on Saga phone, like only, where you can mine Shadow on that. Like, who knows when it's coming?
You're mining that. What are you doing? You're like farming something on there at the moment now.
Yeah, grass.
That's right.
So I've got my grass farming on the PC, and I've also got it going on the phone.
Oh, dude, if they do an airdrop, you're gonna be a billionaire.
I've done like a pretty large amount of tokens. I think I'm getting like 2,500, 3,000 tokens a day. So
Jesus, Wynal. My God.
If it's worth something, I'll be so happy.
Yeah.
You watch, it's gonna be a point.
Yeah, to be fuck all.
Yeah.
If Jupe gives us 100K,
we should listen to Wynal because he's the one who did the Jito airdrop, and none of us did that. So he's the airdrop king at the moment.
So far.
If Jupe airdrops us 100K specifically to Brotato Capital on the Saga phones, I'll consider opening it.
Jupe to $1, please.
This Jupe airdrop, man, has been coming for, I don't know, 4 years now. How long has it been?
Yeah,
it has been.
It feels like an eternity that I've been waiting for this fucking airdrop that I accidentally got. But yeah, I'm hoping it's.
I don't know. Sorry, Sticks. I was just thinking, like, I really would love to hear you guys speak in the last 8 minutes that we've got about Jupe airdrop market impact, because I think that's like what everyone is like. Do we get Sol liquidity back? Like, do my shit coins?
I feel like it just makes Sol the man that's even richer. Like the wealth effect. Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna get like even like the wealth effect. It's like how like Ethereum dudes got like rich just through like all those airdrops that they got early days, and like by holding ETH, obviously. I feel like the Sol dude's gonna just get like the ones that have fucked around the entire bear market, like the Jupe airdrop's gonna just give them so much extra money to play with. that'll
Yeah.
probably inevitably go back into Sol. If not, they'll just
trading at
gamble it on the meme points.
75 cents at the moment on
Yeah, it's still
pre-market.
so high, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, compared to what it was when I initially saw the pre-market, it was like 20 cents.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I may or may
And
not
like
be
when I saw it
long.
at 20, I'm like, oh, I don't care about this airdrop. But now I'm like, oh, no, I really care about it.
I saw on Polymarket
I'd
this
love
morning.
for-
It's highly predicted for January.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good time, I think.
The thing I love about this airdrop is that no one really suspected it would in the earlier days. Maybe like if you were really close with the team, or if you just had a feeling, or maybe it was just like, oh yeah, they'll just do one because I've been around long enough. My like only concern is Pyth and Jito's performance, as opposed to
Yeah.
like Radium and Orca, which were around last cycle, have performed better than these new coins that have come out. And I don't know, like I
saw
think yeah, you go, Steve.
Sats. I saw Sats that made a post about that, and he was like arguing with Ansem about like how badly the derivatives are gonna perform in comparison to like just you should just buy Sol and just hold Sol.
Yeah.
But then Ansem was like disagreeing with him, saying no, like these tokens will do well. But yeah, Satstar like was just literally saying no, like the derivative is going to do really bad and Sol's going to do really good.
Yeah.
But like I don't know which one. At the moment, he's like obviously winning, but the argument. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see with the Dupe airdrop.
Yeah, I think it potentially changes if Sol maintains some sort of legitimacy. I think last cycle
that's a good point.
it was different because of the whole SBF shit, and I think the first time a chain becomes popular, that's true. But you could also argue that like a lot of the ETH native tokens have always like underperformed ETH to some degree. So there's not a lot that like over time continually outperform ETH. Like over time they tend to bleed out a lot more because of the beta function. Like on the upside it can go really high, but then when you get those downsides they tend to bleed out a lot more. So it just depends on what your time horizon is, I think, with those tokens, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're long-term holds at all.
Yeah, I think just looking at price action alone, I think the status quo is the ecosystem coins are not performing better than Sol. But interestingly enough, the older ones are. So it's like, okay, so like, are we like waiting on a third cycle to like have these ones that are freshly launched to go up? So unless like, for example, if Dupe goes up a lot on launch or what have you, I'm going to be more and more skeptical that it is longer term, considering the recent price action of Pyth and Jito. So like, it's like really hard to say. Like maybe if you wanted to allocate yourself to Dupe in the longer term, it's like not the worst idea to maybe have some exposure, because at the end of the day, you now have statistics with DEX volume flipping that of ETH. So it's like a real underlying like, okay, well, Jupiter's the main aggregator of all the DEXs because of Sol's recent performance against all the other market participants. I think that Jupiter is a good long-term hold as a bet on those statistics, but it is, I think, an uphill battle because you're fighting previous airdrop performance and the general status quo that eco coins do not perform better than the base asset. So that's probably the framework that I would adopt with the Dupe airdrop. Not financial advice, et cetera, but I do want the because I think the underlying protocol is amazing, and like the team have worked really, really hard. So I'm hoping that there is long-term success for the people involved to bring this protocol to the chain, and maybe not just get slumped in the category of like, it's, you know, a scam token. It always goes down against the base asset. Like I generally think that there is value being provided. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling again, but yeah, that's what my thoughts.
No, awesome.
Cool. All right. Well,
Cool.
shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Leave it. Yeah, good time to wrap it up. Man, that was good. I kind of sat there just quietly in the corner. I'm like sleep deprived as sin, and I'm just nodding along like, yep, good stuff, boys.
No, awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Get some sleep.
And
Thanks,
this will
guys.
go up on the YouTube. So yeah, appreciate everyone that gave us some boosts. Thanks for everyone
Minted
for
some
tuning in.
glizzies. That's
Some
fantastic.
glizzies, crazy man. This is probably the best one we've done yet. So thanks everyone.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned for more.
Thanks, guys. Enjoyed.